Okay, so do we, I think we start right here.
Just read one.
Okay. And I thought that I might, if I make a mistake, I'll just stop.
Oh, that's fine.
You know, just
yeah.
and correct that. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is page 104, and Emily is speaking, who says there's really nothing to worry about. I think that shokein bamromin hamatzet menucho nachono al kanfei haskino. That
That's this one.
that's this one right here.
What does it mean?
Oh, I didn't do
Oh,
that.
that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Matzet. They're talking about
We can figure that out.
Okay, cool. Okay. And then Pryor says what? And Emily comes again and says everything's fine. But ma'alos kedushim uthorim kazohar harokia mazirim. And Pryor says, oh, I don't understand what you're... And Emily then breaks in and says, Is nishmas Pryor shacholoch le'olamo ba'avur shenodvu tzoroko ba'ad hazkoros nishmoso. I think I would understand. Why are you doing that? Stop that! Because it would drive me nuts. I think that's all there on that page, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So that's page 104. And then, we go back here. Where's it? Here. Oh yeah, it's now. This is not Hebrew or Aramaic. It is it's Yiddish. Okay, so this is Ethel, who actually, and I don't know the tune, but you'll hear that it's rhythmic. She says, "Steigt abocher und tracht und tracht a ganze Nacht, wemen zu nehmen mit verschämen, wemen zu nehmen mit verschämen, tumbala, tumbala, tumbala laika, tumbala, tumbala, tumbala laika, tumbala laika, spiel balalaika." Okay. Oh, do you? Oh, good. How do you have the melody? I mean, you just have
From HBO.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Oh, and then so here we are on page 255. Oh, actually, it starts on 256, where they're struggling to remember how to say the Kaddish.
Is it Kaddish?
It's Kaddish. When you're saying the mourner's Kaddish, that's in Aramaic. The Kiddush, which are the same three roots, I mean, you know, the same root, Kadasha, that's Hebrew, and that's a blessing.
Okay.
And it's usually said just before a meal, Kiddush, okay, at the end of a service. All right, so Belize, they're looking at somebody who's dead, I guess.
This is Roy Connell.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Belize is the sort of moral center of the play.
That's right. And Lewis says, I didn't even bar mitzvah. He says, come on, you can remember some of it, right?
And the Ethel is a ghost, so there's something that happens here that helps him remember just because she was the
I see. Okay. Okay. Well, so Lewis begins, Yiskadal va-yiskada Shemei Ravo, Shemei the Kidsho, and then he struggles, and he confuses. This is actually part of the Kaddish. This actually is a part of the Kiddush, which is a prayer that says, you'd say that, Borei Pari Hagofein, the one who created the fruit from the ground.
Oh.
Okay. No, that's the Kiddush, not the, and then he jumps to the Shema Yisrael Adonai, which is the Shema, another part of the service. So Lewis is really trying to struggle to remember his Hebrew. And then Ethel, I see as the ghost, and Ethel then must give him guidance.
Yes. He doesn't even know what's happening.
I see. Okay, Ethel. So Ethel then helps them by getting back on track. Ba'olmo divro churusei v'yamlich malchusei. And then I guess then Lewis just says the same thing afterwards. ba'olmo divroch chorusei v'yamlich malchusei. And Ethel says again, B'chayechon u'v'yamochechon u'v'yached echol beis Yisrael. And Lewis says, which is the same thing, B'chayechon u'v'yamechechon u'v'chayed echol beis Yisrael. Ethel ba'agolo u'v'zman koriv. And Lewis says, V'imru omein. And this is like, and they said, Amen. Okay, and everybody chimes in the liturgy. V'imru omein, and they said Amen. And then Ethel comes back. Yehei shemei rabo mavarak. Lewis and Ethel say la'olam ulolmei almeo yisborak v'yishtabak v'yispoar v'yisroman v'yisnaseh v'yishadar v'yis'aleh v'yishalol shemei dekudsho. Okay. And Ethel says, Barichu la'elo min kol birchoso veshiroso. Let me say that again. Ethel says, Barichu la'elo min kol birchoso veshiroso. Okay. And then Lewis and Ethel say, Tush b'choso v'nechemso da'ameron ba'olmo v'imru omein. Yehi shalomo rabo min shemeo v'chayim oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru omein. And then Ethel says, Oseh shalom bimrumov hu ya'aseh shalom oleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Lewis says, same thing. Oseh shalom bimrumov hu ya'aseh shalom oleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ethel says, V'imru omein. V'imru omein. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. There must be looking at somebody who's Cohen who's dead. Yeah, that part I seem to remember. Okay, I think that's everything on that page. And then back to our Yiddish. Apparently Sarah she's already dead.
Yeah.
And Kimmelwitz is in heaven or having a vision? Yeah, all right. And this comes, all right, so, right, okay, so Aronson says to the rabbi, "Was will What does he want?" And Kimmelwitz says, "Die Goyim, sie wesen nicht mit sich aufzuführen." So, die Goyim, sie wesen nicht mit sich aufzuführen. And, okay. So, are you Sarah Aronson? I was at your funeral. You look like your grandson. This has wonderful possibilities. So, Sarah Aronson says, Wie? What? And Himmelwitz says, Dein Enekel, Louis. And, yeah. And Himmelwitz says, is the Fegele. A Fegele? Boy. And Himmelwitz says, Ist du? Why does everyone here play cards? Why to Sarah? Das Goy will wissen fahr, was mir spielten Korten. And then Penuel, Peniel, Yaakov, Beit Yisrael, Kiliu, Kilimi, Main. This is like the Amen. Main. Okay. So Sarah Iron says, "Hey, Zogt Lubella as die Boba Zogt." She says, "Tell this Louis," Grandma says, is Tomid given a bissle Farblen yet scheuen wir Boichtikel. Okay. Aber sie ist nicht kein Anschuldigung. So Sarah Aronson says, "Tell him, als darf ringen mit sein lieben Nomen, ja?" You should struggle with the Almighty. Azoi Tura Yit. It's the Jewish way.